Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. You had better thank God that Jesus was faithful to God. But Jesus wasn't the first man that was faithful to God. And you people that think Jesus is God need to wake up. I have been listening to a person claiming to be some kind of a Jew. And I want to read right here, real quick, what I see in Acts chapter 10. Peter has just, according to what's written here, seen a woman raised from the dead. He's still in town. He hasn't left. The woman, Dorcas, was alive. And Peter cannot be feeling bad about the situation. Having seen the woman who was dead raised by his hand and by his word after he prayed, he had to be feeling pretty good. But there was a certain man at Caesarea, and his name was Cornelius, a centurion of what was called the Italian cohort, or whatever that is, battalion is something. He's the leader of a group, a devout man, and one who feared God, number one, with all his household, and gave many alms to the Jewish people, and prayed to God continually. It says he prayed to God continually. And it says at about the 9th hour of the day, he clearly saw in a vision an angel of God who had come in to him and said to him, Cornelius. Now this is a visitation of an angel. This Jesus hasn't appeared to him. The angel does not give a name, but God's got hundreds of thousands of angels. Okay? Jesus said, I could ask my Father, and it wouldn't be a problem. In other words, God's got angels. Okay? But the angel said, after Cornelius has seen him, what is it, Lord? Now he knows that an angel is a Lord. He's not a king. But he knows this angel is a Lord with some ability. And the angel just simply says, your prayers and alms have ascended as a memorial before God. Now this has not happened because of anything that has to do with Jesus of Nazareth at all. But it does clue in. But this angel has been sent by Jesus. And some may argue that point. And feel free. A certain man, he's told to send to Joppa. A man named Simon is there, who is also called Peter. Now this guy does not know Peter. He does not know that Peter has just raised anybody from the dead. All he knows is an angel has showed up and is telling him what to do. And he does it. And when the angel who was speaking to him had departed, he summoned two of his servants and a devout soldier of those who were in constant attendance to him. This man was well taken care of. And he explained everything to them and sent them to Joppa. And the next day, they are arriving to Joppa. On the next day, as they were on the way and approaching the city, Peter went up on the housetop about the 6th hour to pray, and he became hungry and was desiring to eat. But while they were making preparations, he fell into a trance. And he beheld the sky opened, and a certain object like a great sheet coming down, lowered by 4 corners to the ground, and there were in it all kinds, 4-footed animals, crawling creatures of the earth, and birds of the air. And a voice came to him, "Arise, Peter, kill and eat." If you don't get this, if you do not get this, it's just about like the other parable Jesus said about the parable of the sower. If you don't get this, you're not going to get very far. Arise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, "By no means, Lord." Now, that doesn't mean he's talking to somebody he knows. He just knows that he's heard the voice, and he knows, and he says, "By no means, Lord, for I have never eaten anything unholy and unclean." And again the voice came to him a second time. "What God has cleansed, no longer consider unholy." Now, it doesn't say which angel was speaking to him, and he doesn't make any indication that he thinks Jesus has spoken to him, but he does know that he has heard, okay? And this happened 3 times, and immediately the object was taken up into the sky. And Peter was greatly perplexed in minds so as to what the vision which he had seen might be. Behold, the men who were sent by Cornelius, having asked directions for Simon's house, appeared at the gate. That means they arrived. It wasn't a miraculous appearing, like angels appeared. And calling out, they were asking whether Simon, who was also called Peter, was staying there. And while Peter was reflecting on the vision, the Spirit said to him, "Behold, 3 men are looking for you. But arise and go downstairs and accompany them without misgivings, for I have sent them myself." And Peter went down to the men and said, "Behold, I'm the one you're looking for. What is the reason for which you have come?" And they said, "Cornelius, a centurion, a righteous and God-fearing man, well spoken of by the entire nation of the Jews, was directed by a holy angel to send for you to come to his house and hear a message from you." So he invited them in, gave them lodging, and on the next day he arose and went away with them the next day. And some of the brethren from Joppa accompanied him. And on the following day he entered Caesarea. Now Cornelius was waiting for them, and he had called together his relatives and friends. Just remember the words that were given to him moments ago. Peter said, "By no means, Lord, for I have never." And he heard the words, "No longer. What God has cleansed, don't consider it unholy."